Yeah, okay. So let's start the session, guys. So today we'll discuss about LVMs, logical volume management. LVM, the logical volume management. So why we need LVMs? In real-time environment, the 90% people they will use LVMs only. Okay, LVMs only. So why? So we need a LVMs. What is the difference between standard partitions and LVMs? Okay, yesterday and day before yesterday we created standard partitions. Okay, so can we able to increase the size of the disk, guys, with the help of standard partition? So if you create the standard partition, can we able to increase the size? So for example, I have the 1 TB hard disk. Can we able to increase this 1 TB as a 2 TB? So it is possible. Yes, guys. Can we able to increase the 1 TB disk as a 2 TB? I purchased the one new brand hard disk. It's a new brand hard disk. So it's a 1 TB hard disk. So now, can we able to purchase the, can we able to increase the space of the hard disk? It is possible, guys. For example, I was started one startup. So at present, I need like only 10 members will have in our organization. So at present, 1 TB hard disk is enough. 1 TB hard disk is enough for me now. So maybe going forward after a few days, okay. So I got a new project and then I recruited 20 more peoples. So there's 20 peoples also they need to store the data. So 1 TB it's not enough for me. Okay. I need to increase this 1 TB hard disk size maybe as a 2 TB. So how we need to increase this 1 TB hard disk size as a 2 TB? So now what we are doing in a sense, we are going to purchase one more hard disk. Okay. So one more hard disk, one new brand hard disk I'm going to purchase. And then using this, both the hard disks. Okay. So using this, both the hard disks, I'm going to create one volume group. Okay. So I will create one volume group. So for example, the volume group name, you can give any name. Okay. So I'm trying to creating the one group. Now this is a volume group. So now I want to use this both the hard disk. I'll add this both the hard disk into the volume group. Okay. So now the volume group size, it will become 2 TB. That's it, guys. 1 TB plus 1 TB. How much? 2 TB. So now the volume group name is VG. So VG size. So now volume group size is a 2 TB now. So 2 TB VG volume group will have. So using this 2 TB volume group, so I'm going to create the logical volumes. So logical volumes. Okay. So logical disk is a different and logical volumes is a different, guys. Okay. So if you want, you can create total 2 TB logical volume. Otherwise, if you want, you can create multiple logical volume with the help of this 2 TB. It depends upon your requirement. Okay. So you can create 2 TB, total 2 TB logical volume also you can create. Or otherwise, if you want, you can create multiple logical volumes also according to your depends on your requirement. Okay. So for example, I'm creating the one logical volume called 500 GB. Okay, LVM. So what is the use of LVM? So logical volume management. Guys, we can able to increase the space, we can able to decrease the space without losing the file system. So for example, so if you create the standard partitions, for example, I was created on partition, so maybe 2 GB partition. So you need to increase this partition size in the sense we are going to lose the file system. That means we are going to lose the data. So because of that reason, so we are using LVMs now. So you can increase according to your requirement. Maybe so now I was created 500 GB partition now. So in feature, you can increase as a 1 TB. Increase as a 1 TB. So maybe if you doesn't require 1 TB, so you can make again 500 GB. So it's possible with the help of logical volume. So what is the use of logical volume? So we can able to increase the disk space, we can able to decrease the disk space, logical volume space without losing the file system. Without losing the file system. I hope you got it, guys. The uses of the logical volume. Okay. So now according to this diagram, so we are going to create the logical volumes. So in my laptop, I doesn't have the multiple hard disks here. So what I'm doing in the sense, we install the operating system before. So how to install how many partitions we created while you were installing the operating system, guys? How many partitions we created? So before, yes, root, boot, swap, yes. So assume this is my 40 GB hard disk. So inside this 40 GB hard disk, what I'm doing in the sense, what I did in the sense, I did like 3 partitions. Okay, guys, if you remember, so while I'm installing the mount point type is I was given LVM. So LVM mount point type instead of standard partition. Okay, so now here, so let's see here, we'll have the automatically while you are installing the operating system, 2 partitions will have. One is DEV SDA1. So this DEV SDA1, it's a 400 GB partition, 400 MB, not GB. So 400 MB partition. Okay, this is reserved for boot. How many partitions we created? Root, boot, swap. That's it now, guys. It's for boot. So DEV SDA1, this is for boot. Automatically it is going to create DEV SDA1 for boot. Okay, and then next one more partition, 30 GB partition, it will create automatically. Okay, so the 30 GB partition is DEV SDA2. DEV SDA2. So it's a 30 GB partition. Okay, so 30 GB partition. So using this 30 GB partition, we created automatically one volume group. It got created. See here, this is one standard partition, this is one standard partition. So using this both the standard partition, I was created a one volume group called VG. So like the same way, if you use LVMs while you are trying to installing the operating system, okay, so 30 GB partition it got created, and then with the help of this 30 GB, automatically one volume group it got created. So the volume group name is RHEL. RHEL is a volume group. Okay, so RHEL is a volume group. It got created while you are installing the operating system. So using this 30 GB, the volume group it got created. The volume group name is RHEL by default. So by default, the volume group name is RHEL. So I hope you're clear, guys. So RHEL size is volume group size is 30 GB now. 30 GB now. Okay. So now using this volume group RHEL, so we created 3 more partitions called root, boot, root, home, swap. So slash is a root. So I was given 12 GB for this. Okay. Then one more partition I was created called swap. So I was given 10 GB for swap partition while I'm installing the operating system. Okay. Swap 10 GB. So 10 GB swap partition we created. With whom, guys? With this volume group. Okay. And then one more partition will have that is called home. That is called home. Okay. So home is a partition. So let's see here. It's a home directory slash home. So there's also logical drive. Okay. This is also logical volume. So using this volume group, so by default, we got this 3 partition while you were creating the partition, while you were installing the operating system at the time. So RHEL is a volume group. So with the help of this RHEL volume group, so we have the 3 partitions, 3 logical drives here. So 3 logical volumes we'll have here. Okay. So one is root, another one is swap. So and then home. Home I was given 8 GB. Yes, home partition size I was given while we are creating the operating system at the time. So 8 GB I was given. Okay, 8 GB. So 8 GB partition size I was given for home. Okay, so this is our operating system. Operating system like partitions structure. Okay, and remaining how much space will have? So total 40 GB. I utilized approximately 32 30.5 GB utilized, and remaining how much will have? Approximately 10 GB will have. That's it, guys. So we'll have remaining 10 GB. So now what I'm doing in the sense, I'm trying to creating the one more partition. So this both are primary partitions. Again, I'm creating the one more primary partition here. So that is DEV SDA3. So DEV SDA3, I'll create 2 GB partition. Okay. And the remaining space 8 GB, I'll convert into the extended partition called DEV SDA4. So DEV XDA4. So DEV SDA4, a total 8 GB. So using this DEV SDA4, I'm creating one logical volume. Yesterday already we did, no? So I'm creating one logical volume called so DEV SDA5. It's a logical disk, guys. It's not a logical volume. It's a logical drive. It's a logical drive. DEV SDA5 is a logical drive. Okay. So now I'm creating 4 GB logical drive. So DEV SDA5. So 4 GB logical drive. So now what I'm doing in the sense, I doesn't have the multiple hard disk into my operating system. So because of that reason, I will consider this is one hard disk and this is another hard disk. There's another hard disk. Now I'm creating the LVM using this partition. So DEV SDA3, I'm trying to creating the LVMs now. So how to create the LVM? So first of all, we need to convert this DEV SDA3 from standard partition to physical volume. Okay. So now we need to convert this partition into the physical volume. So physical volume is PV. So physical volume. So physical volume size is a 2 GB now because they're converting the standard partition into the PV, guys. Physical volume. Okay. So please concentrate. It's a very, very important topic. So now I'm trying to converting this DEV SDA3. So 2 GB partition into the physical volume. PV means physical volume. The physical volume size is 2 GB. So using this physical volume, what I'm doing in the sense, I'm trying to creating the volume group. VG. Volume group. Okay. So now VG, it will become 2 GB now. So VG, volume group. So with the help of PV, I'm creating this VG called, I'm creating the volume group called VG. Okay. The VG name is VG only. So volume group name is VG. Now using this volume group, I'm creating logical volumes, LVM, the logical volume management. Okay. So for example, this is LVM. Okay. So I'm creating 500 GB, 500 MB LVM. Okay. So or 400 MB LVM I'm creating. Okay. Using this volume group. So using this volume group. So VG is a volume group and I'm creating the one logical volume called LV. Okay. So LV is a logical volume 400 MB. So now you can increase till 2 GB, guys. This logical volume. So maximum the possibilities of the increase, like maximum you can create 2 GB logical volume. So minimum you can create according to your requirement. So you can maximum you can able to increase till 2 GB because the volume group size is 2 GB now. Okay. So now I was created 400 MB. Maybe after few days I need to increase the space. We can able to increase the space as 600 MB. Like this till 2 GB we can increase. I hope you got it, guys. So I need to create the logical volume more than 2 GB. So at the time, what we need to do? Already we'll have the one more partition I was created before. So DVSDA5 is a 4 GB. I'm going to add this partition into the volume group. The volume group size it will increase. So as a 6 GB, then we can increase the logical volume size till 6 GB. I hope you got it, guys. So I hope you're clear. Yes, no? Yes, guys. Can you hear me? Okay, so now we'll do practical session. So how to create the logical volumes and these all. Okay. So let's see here. I'll do one thing. I'll take one snapshot for this. Okay. So let's see here how to create the partitions, guys. So we'll have one command called lsblk. Then we can see here. lsblk command, it will show the like tree structure. SDA is a hard disk name. SDA1, SDA2, two partitions will have. So SDA1 size is 400 MB. The mount point it got created on /VOOT. Okay. SDA2 total 30 GB. Okay. Then we'll have the RHEL is a volume group. So with the help of RHEL, we created a root and it got mounted on /. Okay. And swap and then O. So I hope you're clear, guys. SR0 is a DVD, our image file. This is our image file. Okay. So lsblk is a command. So why I was given a take a snapshot in the sense if I'm doing any practical session, I need to reset the practical sessions. So again, so no need not to install the operating system again. So I'm trying to resetting the snapshot. So we'll get the like fresh operating system again. So okay, side up. So to taking the snapshot. Okay, so you can take the snapshot. Go to virtual machine. Right click. We'll have the option called snapshot. Take snapshot. That's it. Okay. You can reset already one snapshot will got created. See. So I hope you got it, guys. So Milan, please concentrate here. So what is the use of LVM, guys? Logical volume. So what is the use of logical volume? Apart from Milan. Yes, guys, what is the use of logical volume? Guys, while I'm trying to teaching at the time, so if you having any doubts, please ask me. So don't sit simply, okay? Increase and decreasing the disk space. Yes. So we can able to increase the space without losing the file system. We can able to decrease the space without losing the file system. So without losing the file system means we are not going to lose the data. According to our requirement, we can increase the size of the logical volume. I hope you got it, Milan. Okay, so let's see here. lsblk is a command. It will show you all the tree structure. So in our operating system, we'll have so two partitions and then one volume group and then three logical volumes. So root, swap, home is a logical volumes we'll have. So RHEL is a volume group. So don't bother about this DVSDA1 and DVSDA2. Now I'm trying to creating the one more partition. So fdisk, so DVSDA, then N to create the new partition, primary partition I'm creating. Okay, then plus 2 GB size I'm providing for this. So I need to change the type of the partition. So how to change the type of the partition, guys? I'm creating LVM. So yesterday we already discussed how to change the type of the partition while we are creating the swap partition at the time. So how to change the partition type? Which option I need to use to change the partition type? Yes, guys. Which option I need to use to change the partition type? Yes. Which option? P is an option to change the type of the partition. Okay. I'm trying to change the type for third partition. Okay. So I need to provide the hexacode of the LVM. So we doesn't know the hexacode of the LVM. So how will we get the hexacodes? Capital L option we should use. See here, 8E is an option. 8E is an option for LVM. Clear? 8E is an option for LVM. Then 8E we need to provide, then hit enter. So now the partition 3, it like change the partition type from Linux to Linux LVM. Got it? Okay. So Linux to Linux LVM. If you want, we can print the partition table. So dvsda3 it got created and the partition ID is 8E. That means hexacode is 8E. Now it became Linux to Linux LVM. So like the same way I'm trying to creating the one more partition, extended partition. The total space I'm converting to the extended. So we'll have the 8 GB space, the total 8 GB space I am converting into the extended partition now. So now using this extended partition, I am creating one logical drive, okay? 2 GB logical drive I'm creating. Sorry, 4 GB logical drive. So one partition it got created. So logical drive it got created. So dvsda5. So dvsda5 size is 4 GB. Now it's a Linux partition. I need to change from Linux to Linux LVM. So P to change the partition type, then fifth partition, then 8E is a type. So now, so SDA5 it got changed from Linux to Linux LVM. So P to print the partition table. See here. So DVSDA5 total size is 4 GB. 8E is the partition ID. Then it got changed Linux to Linux LVM. Okay. Then W to save the partition table. So partprobe is a command to update the partition table. Okay. So partprobe is a command to update the partition table. Clear? Now I need to create LVM. Okay. I need to create LVM. So if you want, you can check lsblk command. See. 3 more partitions I was created, dvsda3. So SDA4 it's a extended partition and then SDA5 is a logical drive. So 4 GB size will have. So dvsda3 2 GB and then dvsda5 is a 4 GB now. Okay. So now I'm going to use dvsda3 to create the logical volume. So logical volume. So first of all, what we need to do, guys? We need to convert this dvsda3 into physical volume. So how to convert this SDA3 into the physical volume? So pvcreate is a command. So simple commands, guys. So easily we can able to remember this all the commands. It's not a big deal. Okay. So pvcreate is a command. So pvcreate is a command, and then we need to provide the device name to whom we need to convert the PV. So yes, the physical volume successfully it got created. To whom dvsda3. So physical volume dvsda3 successfully created. So we need to verify whether the physical volume is created or not for dvsda3. pvs is a command. So pvs, physical volume status, guys. That's it. Okay. Already we'll have the dvsda2. This is belongs to operating system. Don't bother about this. Okay. So here, so dvsda3. So just now I was convert this dvsda3 as a physical volume, but this physical volume doesn't have any volume group now here. Okay. The physical volume doesn't have any volume group now here. Okay. So it's a LVM format, LVM version 2 format and attributes, and then the total size of the partition is 2 GB and then 2 GB it's free now. Okay. I didn't create any files and directories inside the dvsda3. Okay. So we need not to create the files and directories inside the dvsda3. So where we need to create the files and directories inside the logical volume. Okay. So the physical volume it got created successfully. So if you want, you can use this command also, guys. pvdisplay, then dvsda3. So now the physical volume. So information you will get very detailedly here. So dvsda3, there is no volume group name and the size of the physical volume, and it's a UUID of the physical volume, universal unique ID of the physical volume. Okay. Now using this physical volume according to this diagram. Okay. So I was converting this dvsda3 into the physical volume. Now using this physical volume, I'm creating the volume group now. So how to create the volume group? Simple command vgcreate. That's it. Vgcreate, and we need to provide the VG name. I'm providing the VG name called my_VG. My_VG. Okay. I'm providing the physical volume called my_VG. Physical volume name is my_VG. So with whom I'm trying to creating? With the help of PV. Okay. The PV name is DEVSDA3. Simple guys. How to create the volume group? So vgcreate is a command, and then we need to provide the VG name, and then we need to provide the PV name. So using this PV, I'm trying to creating this VG. Okay. The VG name is my_VG. I'm creating the VG, my_VG with the help of vgcreate command. Clear? And hit enter. See here, volume group. So my_VG successfully it created. Got it? So volume group. So my_VG successfully it got created. So let's verify. VGS is a command to verify. See here. So recently I was created one like volume group called my_VG. So it having the one PV. So using this PV, which PV? So DVSDA3 is a PV name. So we'll have the one PV to this volume group called my_VG. Okay. The total volume group size is free. 2 GB will have the total size is free now. Okay. Already we'll have one volume group called RHEL. This RHEL belongs to operating system. Don't worry about this RHEL. Okay. So recently I was created my_VG volume group. Okay. Using this volume group. Okay. Using this volume group, I'm going to create the logical volumes now. Guys, if you want, you can use this command also. vgdisplay also you can use. Provide the volume group name called my_VG. The volume group it got created successfully. So we'll have all the details, so detailed information about this volume group. Okay. So format is LVM version to metadata areas and meta sequence number, and then so read and write permissions will have, resizable permissions will have. Guys, if you're coming here, the 2 GB size will have a volume group. See, remember this PE size. PE full form physical extents. Okay. So PE full form physical extents. By default, physical extent size is 4 MB. By default, we can able to change the physical extent size. I will tell you later how to change the physical extent size and these all. So what is the use of physical extents and everything I will teach you, don't worry. So just remember this. PE, physical extent size by default 4 MB. Okay, 4 MB by default. The volume group size is 2 GB, and then physical extent size is a 4 MB by default. Okay, it's a UUID, and then so we'll have the size and these all stuff. Okay, so we'll get the information related to so VG volume group. Now using this VG, I'm trying to creating the logical volume. Okay, so I'm creating the logical volume. So using this VG, I'm creating the logical volume. So how to create the logical volume? So we'll see now. Okay, how to create the logical volume? We'll see now. So it's very simple. So vgcreate is a command. Vgcreate is a command. Hyphen. Okay. So vgcreate hyphen L, capital L. Sorry guys, not vgcreate. lvcreate. lvcreate is a command. So we are creating LVM now. So we need to use lvcreate. So lvcreate hyphen capital L. Hyphen capital L. So capital L means length of the logical volume. So till 2 GB you can give. So but I'm not giving 2 GB. I'm trying to providing here 400 MB size. 400 MB size for logical volume. Hyphen N is an option. So name for the logical volume. So name of the logical volume. I'm providing my_LV is a logical volume. With whom I'm trying to creating with the help of my_VG volume. So please concentrate guys. So lvcreate is a command, hyphen capital L is an option. So length of the logical volume. So we can create till 2 GB, but I'm providing the 400 MB logical volume size. And then hyphen N is an option. So it's a name of the logical volume. My_LV is a name for logical volume. And then with the help of my_VG volume group, I'm trying to create in this logical volume. So logical volume name and then volume group name we need to provide. Okay. So I'm creating the logical volume with the help of this volume group. Okay. The size is 400 MB of the logical volume. Clear? So pvcreate is a command. So lvcreate is a command we need to use. Okay. Then hit enter. See here, logical volume my_LV it got created successfully. So logical volume. So my underscore LV it got created successfully. Let's verify. So LVS is the command, logical volume status. Yes. So one logical volume, my underscore LV it got created along with the home's root swap. Home root swap is a logical volume, so it belongs to operating system. Okay. So just now recently I was created one logical volume called my underscore LV, and then with the help of like my underscore LV having the volume group called my underscore VG, and the total size of the LVM is 400 MB. Got it, guys? So I hope you're clear. So LV display also you can use LV display and hit enter. See guys, this is a path we need to store the data. We should not store the data into the DVSGA3 now. No need to format the DVSGA3. So we need to format this DV my underscore VG and then my underscore LV. So this is a path we need to store the data. There's a path we need to store the data. So LVM name my underscore LV and volume group name VG name is my underscore VG, and it's a UUID of the LVM, and then so read write permissions will have and system information. So the status is available. We can able to store the data. The size of the LVM is 400 MB. Guys, if you remember, physical extent size is 4 MB. Then logical extents. LE means logical extent. Current logical extent size is 100. 4 into 100, how much? 400. That means in 400 MB, we'll have 4 parts. Each part is 100 MB. That is called chunks. Chunk of the disk space, you can say. Okay. So chunk of the disk space. LE size is 100 MB by default. We got 100 into 4, 400. Total size of the logical volume is 400. So inside this 400, we'll have the 4 parts. Each part is 100 MB. Clear? So I hope you got it, guys. Next. So now I need to store the data into this logical volume. So how to store the data into this logical volume? So first of all, we need to assign the file system. So mkfs is a command -t. I'm using ext4 partition type. Okay. So file system type I'm using ext4. Okay. External file system 4. Okay. You can use any partition. So you can use any file systems, depends upon your requirement. Okay. So ext4 is a file system type. So now I'm formatting to whom? My underscore VG and my underscore LV. So DEV slash DEV slash my underscore VG and slash my underscore LV. Okay. Then hit enter. It got formatted. So let's verify the file system. How to verify, guys? blkid is a command. So DEV my underscore VG slash my underscore LV. Then hit enter. So ext4 file system we assigned for. So DV my underscore VG and DV my underscore LV. Okay. So now how to create the mount point, guys? I need to create a permanent mount point. So how to create a permanent mount point? So to store the data, we need to create a mount point. So first of all, what I'm doing in this is I'm creating one directory on top of the desktop itself only. I'm creating the directory called dir. The dir directory got created on top of the desktop. Using this dir directory, I'm creating the mount point. So how to create the mount point? etc fstab. etc fstab. Then go to the end of the line. Go to the end of the page. Then here we need to add few entries. So here we should not give DVSDA3, guys. We need to provide so DEV my underscore VG and my underscore LV. Got it? So DEV my underscore VG slash my underscore LV. Then home student. Clear? Home student desktop. So we should provide capital D here. Okay. Then file system ext4. So default permissions 0 and 0. Check sequence and dumping. Save and quit. then mount hyphen a. See here. The logical volume, it got created on top of the desktop. Got created on top of the desktop. The logical volume size is 400 MB. So it is looking like one DVD drive. That means we can able to increase, we can able to decrease this logical volume. Okay. So now what I'm doing in the sense, I'm going to store few data inside this logical volume. Okay. So I'm trying to creating some files and directories. Okay. So let's see here. So we'll have, guys, don't bother about this last plus font. So automatically in ext4 partition, one directory will be created only in ext4, not into the xfs. Okay. So in ext4, last plus font is created, so we can able to recover. So maybe if you lose the data, we can able to recover from this last plus font directory. Okay. Don't worry about this last plus font. So we'll have some data here. So I was created a few directories and few files inside the logical volume. Okay. If you open this logical volume, so we'll have your files and directories here. Okay. So I hope you got it. Yes, no. So this is a way you can create the logical volumes. Okay. So please make a note. So how to create the logical volumes? I hope you got it. Now, what is the use of logical volume, guys? I need to increase the size of the logical volume. Yes, without losing the file system. So how to increase the size of the logical volume? Now let's see. Okay. So the logical volume size is 400 MB. Now my intention is I'm trying to add in 200 more MB into the existing logical volume called my underscore LB. So it will become 600 MB now. So without losing the file system. Without losing the file system. So how we need to increase, we'll see. Guys, it's very simple. Okay. lvextend is a command. Okay. lvextend is a command. So lvextend, and we need to provide the lvm name my underscore so dev my underscore vg and my underscore lv. Okay. So clear. So actually we should not do like this. 1 minute. So lvextend. Okay. Then hyphen capital L plus 200 MB. Means I'm adding 200 MB into, got it? So dv my underscore LV and the dv my underscore, dv my underscore VG and my underscore LV. That's a volume group. Okay. So I'm trying to increase the size of the volume group. The size of the LVM is 400 MB. Now I'm trying to add in 200 MB more. So plus means we are adding 200 MB more. Okay. Then enter. See here. Got it, guys? Extending logical volume my underscore LV to 600 MB. Logical volume my underscore LV successfully resized. Got it? Successfully resized. We increase the space. If you observe, before we'll have 400 MB, now it became 600 MB. Okay. Now let's verify with the help of df-dh command. Yes, I was executed df-th command. So this is a like volume. What we say? There's a file system name, and then the type of the partition is ext4. See, if you observe the size, still will have 400 MB. It's not increased successfully. So after increasing this partition, after executing this command lvextend hyphen capital L and plus 200 MB, and then we need to provide the LVM path here. Okay. Then after executing this command, we need to execute one more command called resize to fs. Resize to fs. I'm trying to resizing the file system. Okay, so resize to fs, then dev my underscore vg and then my underscore lv, then it enter. It got resized. Then go to df-th command. Now it became 600. Got it? So don't forget this resize to fs to resize the file system. Clear, guys? So let's go to home student desktop and dir. Let's verify. So we didn't lose the files and directories will have the data. We didn't lose the file system. I hope you're clear, guys. How to increase the LVM size. How to increase the LVM size. Okay. And guys, if you're using XFS partition instead of resize to fs, guys, if you're using XFS partition, instead of ext4, if you're using XFS, so we should not provide resize to fs command. We need to provide XFS underscore grow fs. XFS underscore grow fs. Apart from this, there is no difference. Instead of resize to fs, we need to provide XFS underscore grow fs. So if you're providing the XFS partition instead of ext4, clear? Next, so make a note. So how to increase the partition, LVM partition. Okay. XFS instead of resize to fs, you need to use XFS underscore grow fs to resize the partition, the to XFS file system, not for ext4 file system. Okay, not for ext4 file system, for XFS file system. Got it? So I hope you're clear, guys. So how to increase the LVM size? Now how we need to decrease the LVM size? Okay, I was added 200 MB. I need to remove this 200 MB from the LVM. So let's see here. So here we need to follow a few steps. Guys, please concentrate. First of all, unmount dev my underscore. First of all, we need to unmount this. So dev my underscore vg and my underscore lv. It got unmounted. Okay. Then we need to execute one command called e2fsck. E2fsck. What is the use of this e2fsck in the sense? We are going to organizing the data with the help of e2fsck. -f is option file and then dev my underscore vg and my underscore lv, then it enter. The data, it got organized. Okay. So e2fsck -f and then we need to provide the LVM path. So it got organized. Then after organizing this data, so what we need to do in the sense, resize to fs, then dev my underscore vg and my underscore lv. Guys, after organizing the data, you need to execute this command, resize to fs dev my underscore vg and my underscore lv. I'm trying to making this 400 MB. See, resizing the file system on dev my underscore vg and my underscore lv to 400 MB. Got it? Now I've made this partition as a 400 MB and I have the additional 200 MB space into this partition. I need to remove. Okay. LV, okay, reduce is a command, -capital L minus, guys, lvreduce is a command. lvreduce is a command. -capital L minus 200 MB from where? dev my underscore vg and my underscore lv. Yes. So if you're having more than like 400 MB data, always we are going to lose, but we are not going to lose the file system. Okay, so let's see here. The data we are going to lose, but we doesn't have that much of data into our partition, so we are not going to lose any data here. Okay, so logical volume my underscore LV successfully resized. Successfully resized. Now create a mount point. Mount hyphen A is option that's it. Automatically the mount point it will create, so it will become 400 MB. Then go to df hyphen th command and it's became 400 MB. So let's verify the file system. So let's verify the data. So whether we'll have the data or not inside the so dir. Yes, we'll have the data. We didn't lose any data here. So I hope you got it, guys. So this is a way you can increase the partition LVM size without losing the file system. You can decrease the LVM size without losing the file system. So we need to follow the steps. Please make a note to. Okay. So I hope you're clear, guys. How to increase the LVM size, how to decrease the LVM size without losing the file system. Now my intention is I need to create the logical volume of more than 2 GB. Okay, what I need to do? Yes, guys, can we able to create the logical volume at present? So we are unable to create the logical volume at present because the volume group size is 2 GB. So more than 2 GB logical volume we are unable to create. So I need to create the more than 2 GB logical volume. So what I need to do? I need to increase the volume group. So how to increase this volume group? Already we'll have the one more partition called devsda file. So it's a 4 GB. I'm trying to adding this 4 GB partition into existing volume group called vg. So now it will become 6 GB now. Then you can increase the logical volume size till 6 GB. So how to increase the volume group we'll see now. Okay. Clear, guys? I hope you're clear. How to increase the logical volume, how to decrease the logical volume. Now we'll see how to increase the volume group. How to increase the volume groups. So very simple. So vgextend is a command. Vgextend, then vg name, my underscore vg. That's it now. So vgextend. Okay. My underscore vg is a vg name. Then I'm adding new partition called devsda file. See, guys, automatically devsda file got converted into the physical volume. Then it got added into the volume group successfully. So now let's verify the vgdisplay command. So vgdisplay. So my underscore vg. See here. The volume group size it got became 6 GB now. So volume group size it got became 6 GB now. Okay. So like this you can increase the volume group. So like this you can increase the volume group. Okay. Now my intention is I need to decrease the volume group. I need to decrease the volume group. It doesn't require 6 GB. I need only 4 GB. I need to remove the 2 GB logical, so 2 GB partition from the existing volume group called my underscore vg. Okay, so I need to decrease the volume group size. So I need to make this partition. I need to make this volume group as a 4 GB. So that means I need to remove this. I am reducing the volume group size now. I'm reducing the volume group size now. How to reduce the volume group size? To increasing the volume group, it's not a big deal. Simply you can use vgextend command, then give the volume group name and the new partition name you can use. Automatically it is going to increase the size of the volume group. Now I need to decrease the volume group size. So let's check the pvs command. See here how many pvs will have. dvsda2. Don't bother about this dvsda2. It belongs to operating system. It belongs to operating system. dvsda3 and dvsda5. This both are, so it belongs to my underscore vg volume group. So we'll have the two physical volumes into the one volume group called my underscore vg. Okay. So now the size of the dvsda3 is a 2 GB. So in this dvsda3, using this dvsda3, we created a logical volume. Okay. So logical volume 400 MB will have. So total size of the P size, like means physical size is 2 GB. From that, I used 400 MB. Because of that reason, it is showing 1.6 GB is free here. Okay. So LVM and the data, everything, it is available into the DVSDA3. So if you having the LVMs and data, you are unable to remove this DVSDA3 from the my underscore VG logic volume group. Okay. So now how we need to do? So first of all, I need to transfer the data and LVM total structure from DVSDA3 to DVSDA5. The DVSDA5 size is 4 GB. The 4 GB size it's free now. Okay. I'm trying to moving the data from here to here along with the logical volume. How to move the data? So it's very simple. So pvmove, I'm trying to moving the PVs. So DVSDA3 to so DVSDA5. Then hit enter. The data and then LVM, so both it is moving from DVSDA3 to DVSDA5 now. Now DVSDA3, it will become free now. Then you can remove the DVSDA3 from the my underscore VG. Yes, it got more successfully. And let's execute this command again, pvs see guys here. So DVSDA3 is free now. So before the size of the DVSDA3 is 1.6, now it became 2 GB. That means we transfer 400 MB logical volume from DVSDA3 to DVSDA5. Now, so before the DVSDA5 is a 4 GB, now it became 3.6 GB. That means 4 GB utilized from the DVSDA5. Now it's free. So I'm trying to removing this DVSDA3 from the my underscore VG logical volume or volume group. Okay, how to remove? So vgreduce is a command. Vgreduce, then VG name. So simple guys. Vgreduce. Vgreduce is a command. Vgreduce, VG name, my underscore VG. Then to whom we need to remove? DVSDA3. Remove DVSDA3 from the volume group my underscore VG. So let's execute again pvs see. So DVSDA3 is now free, so it's not added into the any volume group now. It's free now. Now check the size of the volume group vgdisplay, then my underscore VG. See here, it became 4 GB now. So I hope you got it, guys. How to increase the volume group and how to decrease the volume group. So we can able to increase this volume group size and we can able to decrease the volume group size, but it depends upon PV. Depends upon PV. Clear? So now, so let's verify. So we have the data. We didn't lose any data. So we didn't lose any file systems here. Okay, we'll have the data. I moved the total LVM from DVSDA3 to SDA5. So even so, if you're moving from DVSDA3 to SDA5, we are not going to lose any data. So I hope you're clear, guys. So how to extend the VG? So clear? Yes, guys. Do you have any doubts, any questions here? So I hope you got it. Guys, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me, guys? Okay. Yeah, okay. So now, how to delete the logical volume and then volume group, we'll see. Okay. So how to delete the logical volumes and volume groups, we'll see now. Okay. So we created logical volumes and volume groups and these all stuff. How will you delete, we'll see now. Okay. So it's very simple. So first of all, we need to delete the LVMs, guys. So we should delete proper way. Okay. So if you want, you can delete directly VG also. There is no issues. But First, we need to delete the logical volumes and then volume groups, then PVs. Okay. So first, what we need to do? We need to unmount. So VIM slash etc fstab. Remove this, save and quit, then unmount it. Okay. So unmount it, then delete. LV remove. So DEV my underscore VG and my underscore LV. Yes, you're going to lose the data. Successfully it got removed. Then VG remove. I'm removing the VG. So DEV my underscore VG. Successfully volume group it got removed. Okay. So now PV remove. So we'll have the two PVs here. I'm trying to removing both the PVs at a time. So wrapped. Successfully got wrapped. Okay. Then you can delete the partition, go to fdisk, you can delete the partition. So like this, you can create the LVMs, you can delete the LVMs according to your requirement. So I hope you're clear, guys. So yes, no. So if you want, you can make a note, this diagram and these all stuff. This is the logic we need to create the LVMs. So we are using two different hard disk, and then here one volume group, and with the help of volume group, we are creating the logical volumes. Okay. And one more thing, I will give one information about LVMs. It's exam question. So generally in exam we'll get like this questions. So related to LVM. So let's see here. So we'll do that question now. So we need to create one volume group with the name of Red Hat. Okay. So VG create VG volume group. Okay. All Red Hat. Okay. So with 16p physical extension. So here we're providing the indirect sites, not direct sites, guys. Okay. So the volume group name we need to create Red Hat. Okay. So volume group name Red Hat we need to create. Okay. Then with 16p physical extents. So 16p physical extents. Using this. So using this volume group, create LV logical volume called Fedora with 15 LEs logical extents. Okay. So this is a question. So we need to do practically. Okay. Then file system. ext4 mount on /test directory. Okay. There's a question, guys. How we need to do this? So let's see here. I'm going to reset what I did before. Because of that reason, I was taking a snapshot. Okay. I'm going to resetting this snapshot. So let's see here. So now we need to create one partition. Guys, first of all, how much size of the partition we need to create, guys? So if they're providing like this question, what we need to do in the sense, 16 PE and then 15 LE. 15 into 16, how much? 240. Okay. So if you have some thoughts, if you want, you can use basic calculator. Then 16 into 15, 240. Okay. So now I need to create 240 size of the partition using fdisk command. Fdisk devsda, then n. So primary partition, third partition, plus I'm creating 290 MB. Okay, 290 MB partition. Okay, so more than 240. So more than 240 was created. So 290 MB partition was created. Okay, so now I need to change this partition type. So third partition 8E. So Linux to Linux LVM. So P to print the partition table. So DVSDA3 code created. Then the partition ID is ID, and then Linux LVM is a partition type. Okay. Then W to save, and then partprobe DVSDA. Then hit enter. It got updated successfully now. Okay. Now we need to create the LVMs. So first of all, what we need to do? We need to create PV. So DVSDA3. The PV got created successfully. Then vgcreate. Guys, while you are trying to creating the VG, we need to change the PV size, physical extent size. To change the physical, by default, physical extent size will get 4 MB. But here in question, we need to provide 16 MB. Guys, always remember volume group physical extent size 4, 8, 16, 32, 64 like the square files will get. Okay. And 16 hyphen S we need to provide 16 MB. Then I'm creating the volume group name called Red Hat with whom? So DVSDA3. See, volume group Red Hat successfully created. So let's verify the volume group details. So vgdisplay, then Red Hat is a volume group name. And see here, if you observe, the by default PE size will have 4 MB. Now it became 16 MB. Got it? Now I need to create the LV. So LV create, don't give capital L here. So we need to provide the small l because he was given logical extent size. Using this logical extent size, we are trying to creating the LVMs. Okay. So because of that reason, we should not provide the standard size. For standard size, we need to provide the capital L option. For logical extent, we need to provide the small l, and 15 is the size of the logical extents. Okay, so logical extents, clear guys? 15 is the size. Simple. VG create, then VG create, then hyphen small l, then 15, then hyphen n name. So name Fedora. With whom? Red Hat. See, logical volume Fedora created successfully. So let's verify VG display and hit enter. So DV Red Hat Fedora is a path to store the data. DV Red Hat Fedora is a path to store the data. So LV name is Fedora. LV logical volume name is Fedora. So volume group name is Red Hat. And the UID read and write permissions will have CPU observe. Logical extent is 15. 15 into 16, how much? 240. Logical volume size is a 240 now. So if you only can use LV scan also. LV scan, then hit enter. See here. So DEV Red Hat Fedora 240 MB. I didn't provide the 240 MB direct size. I was given using the logical extents. That means the total 240 MB size is a logical volume size. Total 240. In this 240, we'll have few chunks. Each chunk size is Each chunk size is 15 MB. Like this, 16 chunks will have. Chunk means one part inside. Okay. I hope you're clear, guys. Now we need to assign the file system ext4. So mkfs -t ext4, then dev red hat, and then Fedora. Then mkdir test the directory, then create the mount point. Dev red hat Fedora test ext4. So you know this, yes? Test ext4, then defaults 007. So I hope you're clear, guys. Yes, no? So like this you can create. Okay, so mount -a. The mount point it got created. So let's verify the mount point df-th. So dev mapper red hat Fedora ext4 type. So it will show like 230 MB. So don't worry. Okay. So you need to use this command lvscan, then you will get the proper like size of the LVM. Okay. So clear, guys. So what is the reason means we are creating some chunk inside the disk instead of using the standard partition. So we are creating the chunks inside the disk. So total 240 size we'll have here. So in this 240 size, we'll have few parts internally, but we are unable to find out these all the parts. So this each part size is 15 MB, like this 16 parts we'll have to store the data. Got it? So this is all about LVMs, guys. Okay. This is all about LVMs. So from tomorrow onwards, we'll start networking. So networking for 3 days, networking concepts for 3 days. After that, SSH, disk like boot process, how to take a backup, boot process, and scripting for 2 days. 2 to 3 days we'll have scripting. Okay, depends. So hardly today, how many days we'll have? Oh, let's see here. So tomorrow, Friday. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 days for networking, guys. It will take 3 days. Okay. 10 classes we'll have this. Okay. So 3 days for networking, then SSH 4 days, then backup and restore 5 days, and boot process and how to recover the root password 6. That's it, guys. 8 to 9 days we'll have. 8 to 9 working days we'll have. Okay. So I hope you're clear. So tomorrow, so we'll start networking concept. Don't miss, especially who's doing AWS and DevOps. Some people they missed the class today. So actually, it's a very, very important class today. So some people they missed, maybe your friends. So please inform to them. So especially who's doing the DevOps and AWS. So tomorrow, from tomorrow onwards, it's very, very important. So I put networking, how to create the subnets and everything. I'm going to teach you in depthly. Because of that reason, we are taking 3 days for networking. So please inform them. So don't miss the class tomorrow. Networking class, don't miss, guys. It's very, very useful to you people who try to starting the career as a administrator. It may be like DevOps administrator. It may be like AWS administrator. So without networking, you are unable to become administrator. Okay. So networking means it's not like this. I'm going to teach you like few things about networking. It's not like this. We'll discuss a little bit depthly, okay, about networking, how to create the subnets, how we need to manage the network, and these all stuff I will show you. Don't worry, okay. So I hope you're clear, guys. So do you have any doubts, any questions? Please inform to your friends who missed the class today. So don't miss the class from tomorrow onwards, okay? Okay, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye. You need to use forward slash in front of the etc, not ECT. If you're providing ECT, then definitely it is going to give like this errors only, okay? Teaming and bridges we are not going to cover, guys. Akhil. So it's a basic Linux. It's not a admin and advanced admin, okay? It's a basic Linux. So we are not going to cover any services, okay? Teaming, and network bridges we are not going to cover here, okay? So, so see here. So you need to use CD slash etc, not ECT, okay? Password. PAM, RLS, whatever if you want can use. It's a file. CD command, it's not going to work. A file. Okay. Okay, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye. Take care.